Hello and welcome to this video tutorial on the WP Job Portal plugin. In this video, we will guide you through setting up the WP Job Portal plugin, covering the installation process, initial setup, and customizing configurations to tailor your job board to your specific needs. So watch the step-by-step guide to optimize the WP Job Portal plugin to meet your needs and requirements. So what we have here is the dashboard interface of WordPress. From here, navigate to the Plugins option in your dashboard menu. Click on Add New. Now, use the search bar to find the plugin. Type WP Job Portal and press Enter. Once you locate the plugin in the list, click on Install Now to add the plugin to WordPress, and then activate it. Once the plugin is active, it will prompt you for some initial setup configurations. Explore this setup process to ensure a smooth start with the WP Job Portal plugin. In the general settings, as an administrator, you have the option to add the site title and choose WP Job Portal's default page. Selecting the default page allows you to direct employers and job seekers to specific pages. Set a unique data directory to store all user data files. Add your email as an admin. This email address will be used for admin notifications. Enter the system email address for sending emails, along with the sender name to appear in emails. Enable navigational breadcrumbs links and configure the plugin's default date format. Once the general settings are completed, proceed to the next step. In the Employer Settings section, the admin can enable or disable the employer area, as admin permission is required to access it. To allow users to register as employers, choose Yes. Set the default role for employers, which will be assigned to new employers upon registration. Decide whether to allow employers to view the job seeker area. Additionally, you can use the auto approval option to select whether jobs in companies created by employers require admin approval. Finally, press the Next button to proceed. For job seekers, the options we have here are: set the default role for job seekers, assigned to new users upon registration. Choose Yes or No for allowing visitors to apply for open positions. Select the position for the search icon on the job listing form. Choose that newly created resumes require admin approval. Set the duration for displaying the new tag on a job. After configuring these settings, click the Next button to proceed. These settings are about inserting sample data. The Sample Data option provides an overview of how the plugins function, offering initial insights into the system's operation. Choose Yes or No to enable or disable sample data. If sample data is not enabled, user selection options will vanish, and no sample data will appear on the front end. Selecting Yes will make sample data accessible. Next, to insert sample data, select users for job seeker and employer data from the drop-down menu. If no users exist, an admin can create a new user by clicking the Create New button. This takes you to this page. To create a new user, first specify the user's username and email address. Define the user's first and last name. Make a strong password. Add user role from the menu and hit the Add New User button. A new user has been added. Now, we will create one more user for the employer. So hit the Create User button. Enter the username, email address, both the first and last names. Make a strong password. Choose the employer's role from the drop-down menu, and click the Add New User option. Once completed, the user will be added to the users list. Back on the sample data setup screen, click the Refresh button. Next, choose the user as a job seeker from the drop-down option to display data for the job seeker. Similarly, select the user from the employer drop-down menu. Note that if no user is selected, no data will be shown. Finally, select the option to allow both employers and job seekers to access their dashboard menu on the front end. Then, click on the Finish button. This will redirect you to the admin dashboard menu. With all the initial setup steps completed, your WP Job Portal is ready for use. Additionally, it comes preloaded with sample data, providing an overview of how the system operates. Now let's discuss setting up the header menu on the front end of your website. If you don't already have a menu, you'll need to create one first. To do this, go to the Appearance section and click on Menus. Give your menu a name and click the Create Menu button. Now, you can start adding items to your menu. Choose the pages you want to include and click Add to Menu. You can see these pages added to the menu. Next, set the menu's display area. Once you're done, click Save Menu, and your WordPress menu will be added to your website's header. Now, let's create a page using shortcodes. First, navigate to the admin dashboard and select the shortcodes option. Next, locate the shortcode for the desired page and copy it. Then, go back to the WordPress dashboard and select the Pages option. Click the Add New button. define the page title, and then paste the shortcode, and publish the page. The newly created page will be added to the pages list. Now, let's add this page to the menu by following the same steps. Open the menu section. Choose the page and click Add to Menu. The page will be added to the menu. You can rearrange the order of the pages by dragging and dropping them as desired. Then, save the menu. Now, the menu will include the newly added page. Next, we'll enable user registration for front-end users. Currently, registration for front-end users is disabled by the admin. To allow anyone to register, the system administrator needs to enable it through their admin dashboard. To enable user registration, navigate to the Settings menu and click on General. Head to the Membership section. Check the box next to Anyone can register under the Membership settings, and click the Save Changes button to apply the settings. Once these steps are completed, users will be able to register on your WordPress site using the registration form provided. Let's now dive into the configurations of WP Job Portal, which enable you to customize the plugin according to your specific needs and preferences. First, we'll focus on the general configurations and we'll explore how these configurations impact the front end of your site. Under the site settings, you have the flexibility to change the site title and data directory at any time, show or hide navigational breadcrumbs links, set the date format, define the currency, specify the allowed image file extensions, set the maximum image file size. Choose the currency symbol position to display it to the left or right of the amount. Adjust the number of job types per row on the job by type page. After configuring these site settings, save the configurations, and let's observe these changes on the front end. To view the changes on the front end, navigate to the Register option in the menu. Here, you'll notice that the maximum logo size has been reduced from 1000 to 800 kilobytes, and the image file extensions have been updated accordingly. The navigational breadcrumbs links are now appearing. Additionally, the currency symbol has been changed from the euro to the $sign and is positioned on the left side of the amount as per the settings. Moving on to the general configurations, let's explore more settings. In the Default Settings section, you can set up a default page for WP Job Portal. Selection of the default page ensures that Job Portal links and emails and other links work properly. Next, in the default options, you can change the default address display style. You may also customize the employer and job seeker roles, as well as the default pagination size. After making these changes, save the configurations, and we'll see the changes on the front end. To check the address display style, we will open the Add Company form, where you can see that the address is appearing according to the change. Next, in the map settings, you can fine-tune various aspects such as map height, mapping service selection, default longitude and latitude configuration, and default map radius type specification. Additionally, under the general configurations, you can add terms and conditions pages for companies, jobs, and resumes. If you don't have a terms and conditions page, you'll first need to create one. To do so, navigate to the WordPress menu and select Pages. Click Add New. Enter the page title, such as Terms and Conditions. Define your rules in detail and publish the page. Now, to enable this page for users, go back to the Terms and Conditions settings under the General settings. Select the Terms and Conditions page from the drop-down menu for each category, and once done, save the changes. Moving to the front end of the plugin, open any submission form, such as Add a New Job. You'll see that the map is updated according to the settings. The Terms and Conditions page is linked to the form through a designated and accessible link. Now, let's dive into the employer side configurations. As can be seen, the administrator has disabled the employer section and prevented employers from accessing the job seeker area, making both the employer and job seeker areas inaccessible. Similarly, the system administrator can easily enable or disable the employer area and grant or restrict access to the job seeker area. Further, among other settings, you can configure the company logo maximum size and specify whether to show count in resume categories. Now, let's proceed to save the configuration and observe these changes on the employer side. Upon enabling the employer section in the configuration, the employer area is now accessible, and the number of counts in the resume by categories section is apparent. Next, as an administrator, you have the option to enable or disable the ability for employers to save a search of the resumes. Currently, this option is disabled, meaning that employers can search resumes but cannot save their searched results. However, once the admin allows employers to save the searched resumes, the option to save will become available, allowing employers to conveniently save the resumes they have searched for. In the Auto Approve section, the Company Auto Approve option is currently disabled, indicating that when employers create a new company, admin approval is required for it to be published. As a result, even though the company has been created, it will remain unpublished until it receives admin approval. So in the Auto Approve section, administrators may control the Auto Approve functionality for companies, featured company job Auto Approve, and more. Once the Auto Approve functionality is enabled and configurations are saved, newly created companies and jobs will automatically go live without requiring the manual approval of the admin. You can see that the company has been created and approved automatically. In the Company's Settings section, administrators have the option to show or hide various details, including the company name, company email address on the View Company page, city on both the company's listing and View Company page, view company jobs, and more. When these options are hidden, the respective details will not be visible on the company view page. However, once these options are configured to show and saved, these details will be available. On the company's listing page, the city appears as per the settings. Upon navigating to the View Company page, the city, email address, and View All Jobs options become visible. Lastly, within the employer configurations, administrators can determine which navigation options should be visible to employers. Options such as the jobs graph on the employer control panel, My Company's link, Add Company link, and more. As the Save Searches, Messages, Invoice, and My Subscriptions options are set to be hidden, which means that these options will be hidden from the control panel menu. And here those options are not available in the employer dashboard. However, once these options are configured to show and save the configuration, these navigational links will be available in the dashboard menu of the employer. Now, let's proceed to the configurations related to job seekers. In the Jobseeker General Settings section, administrators can control various options that impact the job seeker's experience. They can enable or disable features like Enable Featured Resume and Show Apply button for the newest jobs. Currently, these options are disabled by the admin, meaning they will not be available for job seekers. The Add to Featured option for resumes is not available according to the configurations. The Apply Now button is not available for the newest jobs. However, once these options are configured to show, they will be available. Additionally, administrators can configure various settings related to job listings under the General Settings, such as enabling or disabling Show Count in Jobs by Cities page and Show Country in Jobs by Cities page. Other settings include options like Resume Auto Approve, Featured Resume Auto Approve, Job Shortlist, Job Alert Auto Approve, and Tell a Friend. Once configured, save the configuration, and these options will be available for job seekers accordingly. The Add to Featured option for resumes is now accessible, and the Apply Now button is visible, along with other previously disabled options for the newest jobs. Next, administrators can fine-tune settings related to resumes, including defining document file extensions, setting the maximum size for resume files, specifying the number of files job seekers can upload in a resume, setting the maximum size for resume photos, determining the maximum number of employers and institutes allowed in a resume, specifying the maximum number of languages allowed, and setting the maximum number of addresses allowed in a resume. After configuring the settings, ensure to save the configuration, and these options will be made available for job seekers accordingly. The allowed file extensions and maximum logo size for photos and files align with the configurations set. Furthermore, as per the defined configuration, job seekers are limited to adding only 2 addresses. Once this limit is reached, the option disappears. Lastly, in the job seeker-related configurations, administrators can show or hide job seeker control panel links to ensure which navigation options will be visible on their dashboard menu. Once the settings have been configured, save the changes, and the options will become available as expected. Only the options that are set to be shown are visible in the job seeker's dashboard menu. Now let's dive into the visitors-related configurations. Once on this page, you'll find options related to CAPTCHA settings that you can implement on your site. You can begin by choosing whether to display a CAPTCHA on the registration form or not. Next, select the CAPTCHA type, either Google reCAPTCHA or WP Job Portal CAPTCHA. You can also customize the CAPTCHA calculation type, choosing between addition or subtraction. Additionally, consider settings like positive answers upon CAPTCHA subtraction and set the number of operands for the CAPTCHA. Once you've configured these settings, remember to save them for the plugin's CAPTCHA. The CAPTCHA is now operational on the registration form with the specified number of operands. Furthermore, in the visitors configurations, administrators can tailor the job posting options for visitors, allowing them to post and edit jobs, as well as setting up CAPTCHA for job submission forms. Once these settings are adjusted, visitors can only carry out the specified actions. The Add Company form is accessible for visitors, and the CAPTCHA is also operational on the form. Additionally, the Visitors Can View Employer area includes settings that allow visitors to search for and browse resumes, along with controlling the visibility of the resume categories option. Let's now proceed to perform these actions from the Visitors area. As per our settings, visitors can search resumes but are unable to view them. Let's execute this action, and you'll observe that the resume search is successful. However, the visitor is unable to view the resume details as logging in is required for access. Similarly, access to the Resume by Categories page is restricted. In the Jobseeker section, you have access to settings that allow them to apply for jobs, add resumes, display login messages when applying for jobs, and more. After configuring these settings, proceed to test them from the visitors area. According to our settings, visitors are unable to create a resume, and they cannot apply for jobs without logging in. Allow visitors to access the Jobseeker control panel, view companies, view jobs, explore jobs by categories, and more as job seekers. Lastly, configure the permissions for visitors acting as employers. This includes enabling or disabling the employer control panel for visitors. If enabled, administrators can select which control panel links will be visible on the visitor's dashboard as an employer, such as Jobs Graph, My Companies, Add Company, My Jobs, Add Job, Applied Resumes, and other relevant employer dashboard links. Similarly, administrators can determine which control panel links will appear on the visitor's dashboard as a job seeker, such as Active Jobs Graph, My Resumes, Add Resume, Jobs by Categories, Newest Jobs, Jobs by Types, All Companies, and other job seeker links. Once all necessary changes have been made, save the configurations. Now, the visitor only has access to the features permitted by the administrator. To configure login and registration settings, navigate to the Login, Register section. Under the Login settings, the first option is Set Login Link. Currently, the WordPress default page is selected for login, meaning users will be redirected to the WordPress login page. However, WP Job Portal offers its own login page. Administrators can choose between the WordPress default page, WP Job Portal login page, or a custom login page if available. Additionally, in the Login Settings section, options are available to show login, logout buttons on the employer and job seeker control panels. According to the configuration, the login button is present on the employer dashboard menu, directing users to the WP Job Portal login page. However, the login button is not available on the job seeker dashboard menu as per the configuration. In the Register settings area, you can specify the register page as default or custom for registration. Next, you can set the page where employers will be redirected after registration, either to the default page or a custom one. Select your preferred default page and new employers will then be directed to this page upon registration. Likewise, set the After Register link for job seekers. If you choose a custom page, paste its link here and save the configurations. And that's it. Administrators can effectively tailor the WP Job Portal to suit their specific requirements through configuration settings. Next, let's discuss slugs and how to manage them in WP Job Portal. To manage slugs, WP Job Portal provides a proper mechanism. On the slug page, you can set a custom prefix for the homepage slug to differentiate it from other pages. Simply enter your desired prefix and save the changes. In case of slug conflicts where two or more pages have the same slug, set a custom prefix to resolve these conflicts automatically. To add a custom slug for a specific page, go to the respective page editor from the slug listing. Manually enter the desired slug for that page. After entering the custom slug, make sure to save the slug for the page to apply the changes. Next, let's go through the steps to view the slug link on the front end. From the menu, navigate to the page for which we have added the custom slug and want to view the slug link. In the URL bar of your browser, locate the link for the page. The slug is the part of the URL that comes after the domain name in any subdirectories. It typically appears after the last slash. If a prefix has been added to the slug, it will appear before the actual slug in the URL. By managing slugs effectively, you can ensure smooth navigation and improve the overall user experience on your WP Job Portal website. I hope you have found this video to be helpful and informative. Thanks for watching.